welcome to Morning Brew with, yes, your girl Germaine. And I just finished whipping up my hazelnut coffee. So let me get myself together because we have a special guest in studio, which is, hey, Dr. V. Dr. V is monthly. He's going to be joining us every single month with some great champion leadership information because he's helping all of us to become better champions. He's building champions. But nevertheless, we're going to be talking about something today, which is, let me just pull my notes together because I don't want to miss out on anything. So, all right, let me get into it before I bring him in. So, today's brew for Mixed Blend Wednesdays, yes, it's Wednesdays, is Pillow Talk with Dr. V. This is his segment that he has decided to partner with Morning Brew with Germaine. And once a month, his segment is Building Champion Leaders with Dr. V. So today we're going to get into Pillow Talk. Now, this is a new journal that he is officially launching today on Morning Brew with Germaine. I tell you, I feel so special. But let's talk about it. So Pillow Talk with Dr. V is more than just a 30-day journal. It's a movement to rekindle connection and communication in relationships. In a world filled with constant noise, busy schedules, and digital distractions, couples often lose the art of simple talking, listening, laughing, and leaning into love. I can agree, you know? So, through this segment, Dr. V, he is the senior pastor of Rivers of Life Fellowship Church and a visionary. He's the visionary behind the Champion Leader. He's going to guide us through this sacred practice of intentional communication, both in marriage and leadership, believe it or not. Even though we're talking about marriage, growing our marriage relationship in this 30-day journal. So, his wisdom bridges emotional intelligence, faith, and practical strategies to help couples and leaders build stronger, more authentic relationships. So, this conversation, yes, we're going to get all into it. So, please, if you have questions, we want you to ask your questions. But in this conversation, we're going to explore how open dialogue can transform homes, strengthen partnerships, and cultivate leaders who communicate with compassion and confidence, proving that real love and real leadership both grow together, real conversations. So let me get him up. All right, hold on. Dr. V, here we are again.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Listen, this is a topic right now. I'm going to be first partaker. Yes, I'm owning that. Can I just pull up a copy of the book so people know what we're talking about on this official new launch of this journal?
Please do.
Pillow Talk, 30 days of conversation to grow your marriage. You're going to help a lot of people with this book. A lot of people.
This is a project that I'm excited about. I've been laboring with 3 journals that I wanted to produce that would be helpful for individuals in marriage relationships and leadership positions and those who wrestle with trauma. Today we will be focusing on Pillow Talk, the first journal that I'll be releasing today. Is available in Amazon today, and I'm excited about the impact and transformative power that it will have in the life of those couples who take the time to go through this 30-day journal.
Let me tell you. So I've had the privilege of actually working real closely with you on getting this book published for the marketplace. And so being able to go through these questions, literally, I was going through the book while publishing the book. So I know this is a powerful book. And the first thing I said when my husband came home from work, when I started working on it, was, Ken, we have to do Pillow Talk. He was like, what's that? I said, we are going through Dr. V's book, 30 days.
Yeah.
And then he gave instructions. So you gave instructions.
You and Ken can purchase the first Pillow Talk Journal Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Y'all can make the first purchase.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, it
We
is.
launched it on your show, and you and Ken are the first ones to purchase.
We will be first partakers of this, and then we're gonna have to hire you for coaching.
Okay.
But when I say you have made this so practical and you have made this so simple for us to just clearly together be able to follow your instructions, like you said, you have to do this during pillow talk. When you're in bed, this is the best place to do this, you say, right?
Yes. It
Why
is.
is
I
that?
mean, you're using language like simple, practical, but I would add that even though it is simple and practical, it is challenging for most couples. That's why I felt the need to produce this journal, because even though conversation is something that we engage in daily, we do not engage in healthy conversations daily. And that is the goal of this journal for couples, is to get them on a path that leads them into deep intimacy through healthy conversations, and to rekindle the fire. Every marriage, you need you always need some fire burning. The flame doesn't always burn at the same level all the time, but you need the fire to always be burning. And so I am hoping that this journal will get many married couples on the journey to having consistently routine conversations that bring them closer together, and that rekindles and keeps the fire burning.
Listen, I agree. And the thing is, in all transparency, this is one of those conversations that's so necessary. And I am so thankful that you are sharing this with Morning Brew, because people are married. We're getting ready to go into our 10th year marriage in July, next in 2026. It'll be 10 years for us. And along the journey, things happen. You're living life, you get consumed by life, you get caught up in business, and you forget the most important things because life is life in. But in this book, and I say simple from the standpoint, it's not, it's a journal. You are challenging the reader to really be able to confront some questions, one to another. You're forcing relationships, you're forcing us to talk to one another more deeper than just surface stuff that we deal with because we're so caught up in our day to day. And but I'm telling you, it's some challenging questions in there.
And a
It,
part of what I'm ready to jump into, but a part of what makes it challenging is that many of us have not been taught. Many of us have not lived in close proximity of someone who models these type of conversations. Again, this is birthed out of my pain too.
yeah.
When I got when I got married 30 some years ago, my wife, who came from a family that had a mother and a father in there, and she saw healthy communication. I came from a single family home. My mother raised four kids, three boys, one girl, and I did not see or experience certain type of communications happening between a husband and a wife. But because she did, she would always bombard me with all these questions. And to be honest, it was frustrating. It was scary. But the reality was that I had never seen it modeled. And so, even though she would engage me in simple conversations, ask me, why don't I do simple things? Uh, I, for I would say at least for 2 years, my comeback would always be, that's not me. Stop trying to make me be someone else. But one evening we had a very heated discussion around her asking me questions. Why don't I do this? Her nickname literally was Miss Why Don't You? It's Sunshine now, but before it
It's
was
why don't
Sunshine. it was Miss Why don't you? Because she always like, why don't you ask me how my day went? Why don't you give me a kiss or hug when you come home? And I was like, that's not me. And then one night, after a heated argument over her asking me these why don't you questions, for the first time I asked myself, I went into one of the guest rooms and asked myself, I sat on the bed, why don't you do these things? I literally asked God as well, why don't I know how to do these things? And that's when God really revealed to me, I've never seen it done. It's never been modeled. It's foreign to me. It's scared and it's frightening to me. And even when I made a commitment that I wanted to start practicing these things, it was challenging. Again, I felt like a fish out of water. And
Wow.
so I know I'm not the only man who has not had healthy communication between a husband and wife model. I know that there are also women out there who have
Yeah.
not had healthy communication model before them between a husband and wife. And so that plays another role of this book. It will help them learn to practice healthy communication that so many of us are not taught or exposed to.
That was a lot because you really just spoke my own personal situation, and more people out there, if they're honest with themselves, they can relate to it. And you know what I realized, and I just said to my husband, I said, maybe you just don't have the capacity from an emotional standpoint to really respond to the questions that I'm asking. And it's just basic questions. We see it as basic questions, like what your wife was saying to you, basic things, but I don't know if we took into consideration the lack that was missing and why
They,
he couldn't respond.
yeah, like you said, they're basic, but when you have not been exposed to it, we have not been taught it. Even though it seems to be basic and simple, it for the individual it can feel gigantic. Again,
Absolutely.
my wife would ask me a simple question like this here. Why don't you ask me how was my day when you come home? Why don't you give me a hug and kiss me when you come home? You know, why don't you? Why don't you know? And when I look back at it now, it's like, oh, that was just so easy. It's like now I do all those things without even thinking now. But back
Exactly.
then, it was for me, it was like trying to lift an elephant because I did not know um, how to do that. I had not experienced it, had not witnessed it, and so it felt not only heavy, but honestly, it was frightening. It may sound frightening that it may sound crazy that I would be frightened or scared to just walk in the house and ask my wife, "How was your day?" To walk in the house and give her a hug or a kiss, you know. But it was because I
Yeah.
never was taught that. I'd never been around it. I saw it on Leave It to Beaver and the Huxtables, but I
Yeah,
never saw
but
it happen in
exactly.
real life.
But you know what's interesting is because, you know, patterns, we deal in patterns. And like you said, there wasn't a pattern to see that. And even for being women, we just think it's just basic needs. It's like catering to my emotional needs, asking, and we're looking a simple question: how was your day? Opposed to just coming and dumping everything from your busy day on me, like I got to filter through all this also. And it's like, okay, clearly what needs to happen. So this book, I am so once again, I'm so thankful that you decided to take your experiences, to take all of the things that you were challenged with through your pain points and everything, and decided to put this journal together to help so many people just open up dialogue outside of what's familiar.
Yeah, because I think for both the husband and the wife, both people in the relationship, when you go home, you want that to be your refuge, your place of peace, your place of inspiration, your place of feeling. And when you go home, when you enter into that place, and there is healthy communication and engagement, that home becomes a filling station.
Yeah.
Yeah. because we endure a lot once we leave that home every morning, and when we come back home, we need to be refreshed and feeling. So let's
Yeah, let's
start.
get
Let's
into
talk
it.
about the journal. So the journal. I'm sure you have some questions.
I do. Let me tell you, that was a good icebreaker. I have somebody over on Instagram, Fly Bum Hero. Will it help keep my wife out of my phone, my cell phone? Will it help keep my wife out of my cell phone? So that's a question that he asked. And you know what? Hold on, because I think, let me make sure you're not getting stuck on me. Technology, you know how it is. So while your system is coming back up, we'll get to that question. But I just want to say good morning to those that are chiming in. Leslie George, good morning. We have Tariq Darrell Williams Sr., good morning on Facebook for chiming in. Miss Independent 1227 has joined us uh, over on Instagram. Good to see her. Also, we have Jean Gabby Esteem, who's chimed in with us. So right now we're waiting for Coach Dr. V to come back in. He's chiming back in, just had some slight technical difficulties, but I have some newcomers over here that are chiming in. We have in Instagram. I'm so glad my Instagram is back. We have, y'all, I am so bad with names, but we have Fader. Okay, I am real bad with names. So Faderisman 680 has joined. Welcome all those that are new to Morning Brew with Germaine as we get into this conversation, Pillow Talk, which is the new journal, 30 Days of Conversation to Grow Your Marriage with Dr. V. So he's coming back into the conversation. But while he's doing that, I just want to chime in um, that we also have, these are some of the books that he is launching right before the holiday season. So make sure you go to Amazon so you can get your copy. Today officially launches the Pillow Talk journal from his collection, and then he's going into from trauma to triumph and from the Leader's Edge journal. So those are three new journal collections that are coming out, with Pillow Talk being the first one that is launching today on Amazon.com. So make sure you go over and get that copy if you are in a marriage and you just want to start sparking conversation and communication again. You want, like he said, to get the fire going, to really just cancel out the world and really get into the conversation, resparking that conversation before, a lot of times it's easy just to say, I'm done, throw my hands up, be over and done with everything. But don't quit just yet. I always say, don't quit just yet, because sometimes we just need to talk to one another. So hold on one second. Let me just, okay, here he is. He's back in with us. Okay. All right. All right. We lost you there for a second, but don't worry. I held it
I don't know
down.
what it is, but I'm back.
Oh, that's okay. Held it down. I was doing a little promotion on the journals, making sure people go over to Facebook to get their journal, and just shouting out everybody that's here. So, but yes, I do have some questions. So let's get into it. Why pillow talk matters more than people realize?
Mo- Most marriages don't fail from lack of love. In my experience as a pastor, a counselor, they fail from lack of language, lack of healthy, intentional communication. I'm gonna say that again. Most marriages don't fail from lack of love. There are individuals who love each other every day and they still get divorced. Love each other and they're sleeping in different bedrooms. Love each other and there's a disconnect, and it's because they fail to communicate healthily. They fail to exercise language, conversational language that keeps them bonded and connected together. Pillar talk reconnects couples after the world has pulled them apart. What does that mean? Every day when we leave our home, go to work, um, the husband has to deal with all the challenges and the battles and fights that he has to encounter that day. The wife does the same thing. And so life naturally pulls us apart
Yeah.
during the course of the day. And when we come back home, what reconnects us is language. What reconnects us is conversation. And so that's one of the goals of the Pillar Talk Journal is to reconnect couples after the world has pulled them apart, because you bring home all that you encounter.
Absolutely.
Both couples do.
Absolutely.
And so you need something that can allow you to detach yourself from all the events and activities of the day and reconnect with each other. And that's what needs to happen in relationships and marriages. And that's one of the objectives of Pillar Talk. Let me give it to you another way. Um, Communication is the oxygen of marriage.
Wow.
And so if you think of um, communication that way as being the oxygen of marriage. Uh, Pillar talk is the deep breath,
Mm.
because when
I'm
you
typing this up as you're
when
saying
you when
it.
you ask when you ask some of these questions and you engage in discussion with some of these questions that I have in Pillar talk, it will make you. It's going to make you take a deep breath. Let me think on this one here. Let me take all of this in that this question
Wow.
evokes and stirs within me,
Okay,
um,
say it again. Communication is the oxygen
of
and
marriage. Communication is the oxygen of marriage. Pillar talk is the deep breath. You'll see what I'm talking about when you when you start
yeah.
engaging the questions that I've put in
Uh-huh.
Pillar talk.
Wow. Hold on. I'm just sharing this with everyone. Let me make sure we give credit where credit is due. Hold on. Dr. V.
So I found this quote in my research that I like. A great marriage is not built on grand gestures, but on small conversations that happens consistently.
Mm.
Small conversation. And again, my wife and I are very transparent in all of our teaching and workshops and seminars. We we literally have an entourage of small conversations during the course of the day. It can be a text, but it's a series of small conversations. They don't all last that long, but it's just a series, and so it maintains a connection all during the day. And here's something else that will help couples out too. We when you think about affection, when you think about foreplay, women different than men. Women like foreplay. A man don't need a whole lot of foreplay. Men ready to just get into it. But women like a lot of foreplay. Most people don't think about this, but communication is in a lot of ways foreplay,
Mm-hmm.
where you just having a little small conversations, throughout the day, and so but you don't realize that's stirring something in that woman that you may, again, most people may define or think about foreplay as being something that's just physical. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's also mental, and it's emotionally, and just having a little small conversation here and there during the day, you know just during the day, just
Oh, that's
sending
good.
your wife or your husband a text, or something. It's it has power, even though
Yes.
it's small and it seems simple. It has profound possibilities and
I agree.
impact on your relationship. See, the the bedroom should not just be where you sleep. It should be where you speak and souls connect.
Mm.
Okay, this is what Pillow Talk is about. It's about your bedroom being a place where you and your spouse you you speak in a way that connects your soul. I mean, literally, my wife and I, we look forward to just laying there in the bed at night and engaging in pillow talk. And what's happening is, again, our souls are connecting through language, love language. Let me see if I can make your audience see it this way.
That's good.
You can sleep back to back in the same bed and still be miles apart. Say that again. You can sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
You can sleep back to back or whatever position you choose to sleep in, whatever your favorite sleeping position is when you're in the bed. You can cuddle and still be miles apart if you do not have healthy language happening in your relationship and occurring intentionally and repeatedly. Pillow talk turns the bed into a bridge. When
Mm.
your spouse opens their heart or body, they need emotional safety.
Wow.
A lot of people are going to thank me for pillow talk.
Yeah, I tell you, it's healing. It's and one thing you said that it connects the souls together, just the talking. And it's funny you mentioned just consistency. That's been my word, right? Consistency. Things happen when just being consistent. I just talked about it in a morning brew yesterday. The small things that actually have profound transformation. So I'm gonna take that advice. Little small things. I said we can only be responsible for changing us. So if we apply these things to us, then he has to respond. Your mate has to respond to you differently because you're different. You're responding different.
Yeah.
Who, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh
I'm
my
ready.
goodness. So you kind of touched on how communication shapes intimacy, and you kind of broke some things down with us, starting with consistency. The small communication daily was one of the things. Um, but then also I have quite a few people chiming in. Guys, if you have any questions, if you're chiming into the community and you have any questions for Dr. V, please make sure you put them in the chat because he is open, willing, and ready to answer your questions. So I have another question for you. Why romance fades and how pillow talk reignites it?
Romance. Let me see. I want to say this. Romance doesn't die. It doesn't just die. What happens? And I want to build on the previous question.
Mhm.
Why pillow talk matters. Um, Romance doesn't just drop dead and die. Romance, it drifts. It's a slow drift. It's like I know you and Ken. You
Mhm.
like traveling. I know you and your mom. Y'all like traveling.
Yeah.
I'm not built like you and your mom. Y'all can drive, from Connecticut to Alaska. I'm not, but I know y'all like traveling, and I know y'all go on cruises. It's
Yes.
what happens is, it's like when a ship is docked and you're standing there on the dock and you're so close to that ship, but as that ship begins to drift, the ship don't just disappear.
That's
It
true.
doesn't just disappear like whoop, bam, it's gone. No, what happens is it starts drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting. and it drifts to a place to where it has drifted out of sight. That's kind of how romance um, fades. It doesn't just bam. What happened? Where did our romance go?
Exactly.
It started drifting because of lack of communication, consistent communication, and it's drifting and drifting. Before you know it, you're trying to find where is our romance? What happened to it? Where did it go?
Yeah.
So again, pillow talk pulls it back home. Um, Romantic conversations are again foreplay for the heart. I wish that somebody just grabbed this here and it can change your marriage. Romantic conversations are foreplay for the heart and the soul and the emotions. Redefine your definition of foreplay if you have limited to just being physical, touching, one another, 10 minutes before you're ready to or thinking about or planning on having sexual intercourse. No, no. It's way more than just a physical touch. Romantic conversations are foreplay for the heart. So again, romance is like a fireplace. Pillow talk is the wood. Affection is the spark. So if you have a fireplace and you have no wood, it's hard to start a fire.
Exactly.
And so when you are engaged in romantic conversations, doing romantic things, and again, that can be romantic and affectionate thing. It's a combination of verbal and physical. It can just go just walking by and touching one another, patting one another on the butt, touch, whatever how y'all do, however you get down, however you roll, whatever you like.
Mhm.
You should know each other's love language, and so what you're doing is you in those small acts, in those small moments and behavior, you're adding wood. You're adding wood to the fireplace, and so when it's time for the spark to happen, there is something that can burn. There's something that can get it burned. I've been putting wood. I've been putting wood on this fireplace all day. Oh man, I just brothers, I'm trying to help you. You all throughout your day, you need to be thinking of ways of how can I put some wood on this fire because I want a
Wow.
spark to happen tonight.
So give that again. So you said the wood is,
Pillow talk is the wood. The
yes.
conversation is the wood.
Yes. Okay.
And then
I'm
when,
typing this. I want to have it in writing. The conversation is the wood.
affection is the spark.
And say that again.
Pillow talk is the wood. Affection is the spark.
Okay.
See, in marriage, most of the time, passion isn't lost, it's neglected.
Mm.
I want couples to get this takeaway. This is a powerful takeaway. Romance doesn't just fade. It's not no David Copperfield or Chris Angel where they just lift up the cloth and bam, everything has disappeared. It's a slow, steady process. And right now, I'm telling you, if you're married and you're not engaging in daily and consistent conversations that are healthy, that are affectionate, that are placing wood on that fire that you want to ignite later on that night or whenever, romance is drifting.
Wow. That's powerful.
And you may still be able to see it, or it may be out of sight. It doesn't matter though. Pillow talk can help you bring romance back home.
I tell you, it's conversation. Just talk to each other, right? Just talk to each other. But it's talking about the right stuff, being intentional. So, all right, I do have a question from someone on Facebook, Lonnie Jones. Let me pull it up. He says, "Good morning. Can learned communication be used as a weapon?"
I'm not sure what he means by that question. Let me see the question again. Put
Okay.
the question up again.
Can learned communication, someone that's learning how to communicate in this area, I take it, can it be used as a weapon? And I'm thinking to hurt someone, to hurt the person, or to gain something that they need. Can people use it as a weapon?
Well, I would say yes.
Yeah.
It can be used. I I use it as a weapon every day, but it's for something
Positive.
good. Yeah, it's positive. Yeah,
Mhm.
I every day I intentionally engage um, my wife in conversation and acts of affection that is both verbal and physical, um, and it's a weapon. It's a love weapon. Now,
Okay.
again, I'm not sure how he's what
But
his
that's a good
thought
take on it.
is behind it, but look, listen here. God did something beautiful for me. So again, I had that conversation with myself and God. God, why don't I know how to do any of these things that my wife is asking me how to do? And I made up my mind that I wanted to try to do some of the things she was asking me to do. But I don't laugh at me again. Literally 6 months. I'm not playing. For 6 months. Please don't laugh at me, Germaine.
No, be transparent.
Ask,
I'm glad you are.
ask your audience not to laugh at me. For 6 months, on my way driving home, I would be talking to myself. I would have a conversation with myself, just like I'm having you. I would say, okay, V, when you get in the house, you're going to ask her how was her day. You're going to give her a kiss and a hug. I had those conversations, verbal, audibly, out loud with myself. And every time I got in the house, I couldn't do it.
Really?
Again, I wanted to, but I never seen it done. I was afraid. It felt so foreign. For 6 months,
Wow.
I could not do it, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to try, and God did something. God did something. I know it was God.
Wow.
I was pulling one evening. I was pulling up to go to class. I was working on my psychology degree then. I was pulling up um, to go to class. I pulled up to the building, and when I got out of my vehicle, there was a floral truck parked next to me, and the young lady she had unloaded multiple flowers, and clearly she couldn't carry all those flowers at one time into the building. So I asked her, "Ma'am, do you need any help?" She said, "Yes. Will you help me, please?" I said, "Yes, I help you." So she grabbed about four, and I grabbed about three or four of the flowers. I don't know who had ordered all those flowers that particular day. And so I helped her carry the flowers into the building. And when we got them inside and set them down, she said, "Thank you, sir." And she asked me, she said, "Are you married?" I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "I want to do something for you. Since you helped me carry
Hmm.
these flowers into the building," she says, "every month at a discounted rate, I will deliver flowers to your wife's job." I said, "You will?" I said, "What would be the discount rate?" She said, $12. I said, "You have a deal, man." I gave her the name of my wife's job and everything. And listen here, the first month she delivered those flowers to my wife's job, my wife came home. Oh my goodness.
You was a king.
She had a smile and a glow on her face. She just embraced me. I guess those flowers made her feel good, and that there alone, seeing her reaction gave me the courage that I needed to begin engaging in some of the activities and behavior that I wanted to, because now that was my motivation to see that smile again, to put that smile on her face. And,
Wow.
um,
That's
so,
listen,
yeah,
sometimes we
and
need a
so
little
that
help.
became my weapon. Again, a weapon can be used for good or negative. And so for me, I was like, okay, affection. I viewed it as a weapon of love, a weapon that causes some real good things to happen in the marriage.
That so now I see even the question that that he asked
But take
was
listen, can it be? It can be
it,
used in a negative or manipulative way too. But there's power
in how
in,
you use it.
yeah, how you use it.
So I see that. So you telling yourself having to learn behavior that you're not comfortable with, and then using it as a weapon to be able to give your wife one what she needed, and then two helping to break something in you to let you know it's safe to be able to show that. You said something that really, is something we probably don't deal with, that I guess, men probably more so than women, but it was a struggle for you to go outside of something your norm, something you were familiar with. And I just watched Kurt Franklin, his Den of Kings, when he had these men talking about the vulnerability and how men aren't taught that way. You haven't learned that to be able to show your emotions, so you struggle and fought with that. And even when I think of my husband, he wants to make sure that if he shows vulnerability, it's safe. As long as we've been together, he knows it's safe, but men still fight against that, showing vulnerability. And all we as women are doing is crying out because we need that.
Um, that Going back to that night that I shared with my wife, and I had a heated conversation around her engaging me with more why don't you questions. Um, what drove me to the guest room to have that conversation with myself and God was when we returned home, she immediately went and she fell into our bed and she began to cry and
Yeah.
she moaned these words over and over. I'm not exaggerating, for at least 3 hours. She laid in the bed and she moaned these words over and over, crying. I just want you to make me feel like I'm your queen. I just want you to make me feel like I'm your queen. I just
Yeah.
want you to make me. And after about 2 hours, um, like I said, after the first time I asked myself, man, why don't I know how to do any of these things? Why don't I do it? And that's when, through conversation and prayer with myself and God, it was revealed to me. I don't know how. I've never seen it done. I've never been around anyone who's done it. And so, but that night gave me a desire to want to grow, um,
Wow. Yeah.
to evolve as a man, as a husband. And so that night, her just saying that, making that statement and saying those words over and over. And so now today, um, mm, I try to make her know and feel like she's my queen every day. What's crazy is the everything has flipped. It's like now I I feel like I want it and I need it more than she does. Because again, I saw problems. I
Yeah.
saw the world's problems for a living, and so when I come home, yeah, I want you to make me feel like I'm your king. I need peace. I need reviving. I need refreshing. I need restoration. I come home and again, each day I don't know what I'm going to encounter, but between being a pastor and working in law enforcement and being a leadership consultant, all I do is solve problems. All I do is deal with problems. And
Yeah.
so when I come home, I need my home to be a palace where I'm made to feel and treated like a king.
Absolutely.
I think everyone wants that. I think every man wants that. I think every woman wants what my wife cried for a little over 30 years ago, to be treated and feel like they're a queen. And I think,
Absolutely.
again, pillow talk moves moves you in that direction as a couple.
Absolutely. It's, it's like what you give is what you're going to get in return. So if you are making her feel like that, it's no question that she's going to make you feel like that, but you're right. Just going through this 30-day communication of pillow talk, let me just pull it back up again. Available on Amazon. You are really going to find yourself coming back in, you know, unity as one with your mate. Just being able to open up with the questions that you're asking, and challenging couples to really dig deep. So, whew. Well, listen, more questions? You ready? I'm not going to hold you all day. I got a lot to do, and I know you
Okay.
got a lot to do, but
Okay.
I do. I do have Teresa Merritt Watson says this is really true. Communication can develop into your palace. He is likely to be excited to go home. That's good.
So that is probably some. What was that sister name?
Teresa Merritt Watson.
So Teresa probably knows what it's like to not want to go home and to want to go home. You
To
know,
make that
yeah,
statement, right?
it's like it's like all of us knows what it's like to wake up in the morning, get dressed, put our shoes on, get in our car, and drive to a job that we absolutely don't want to go to sit in the parking lot of that job and have to try to get ourselves together mentally and emotionally to enter into this job. The same is true when in relationships and marriages where there is not healthy communication, where the husband and wife does not feel like they're going home or coming home to their palace where there is safety, where there is love. And so when you don't have that, when romance has drifted, when the communication is unhealthy, when the affection is not alive and vibrant, you can be going home and you're not excited about going home, and it'll make you sit in your driveway and wonder, am I ready, or do I want to go into this house? And so it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing um, to want to go home, to want to be home. It's a beautiful thing when your home is your safe place,
Hmm.
um, where you're experiencing peace and healing. It's a beautiful thing. And that should be the goal for every couple, to turn their home into their own palace, a palace of love.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Teresa knows what I'm talking about.
absolutely. I have another question from Facebook, but I want to say, when you were just saying that, that's one thing. Pillow talk, your 30-day conversation to grow your marriage, it gives hope. It gives hope because you really broke down a lot of things for how a marriage can become disconnected, but just having the hope. But it takes both parties also wanting to work towards that, seeing the value in getting back to that place. So, but this is a question that just came through. Lonnie Jones says, examples of sensitive communication growing up is important for a man to learn soft behaviors for their spouse. True or false?
Um, Let me read the question. Examples of sensitive communication growing up is important for men to learn soft behaviors. I would say true. Again, going back to my own childhood, I there is so much that I did not learn so much that I did not witness as a man, as a male, that I needed in my adult life. And uh, we we pretty much do what we've learned,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't do what we didn't learn. And so men are naturally, through community, through their inner circle, are kind of trained and molded to be tough. But
Yeah.
we have to learn how to be tough and tender at the same time. And so, pillow talk, engaging in tender uh, conversations does not strip you of your man toughness, But you again, uh, I think a part of the love language that you speak in each other is is designed to inspire
Mm.
the relationship, inspire the individual. Hold on to that word, inspire. Inspire
Inspire.
means to breathe life into, and so literally he used the term sensitive, but literally, when we engage in tender, soft, or if you want to use sensitive, intentional love language into each other, we literally are inspired. We literally are breathing life into the life of that other person, into the life of our spouse, our husband or wife, and everyone needs it. The husband needs it. The wife needs it. A lot of
True.
times, again, man, we think we have to be so tough, and we think only women needs it. No, let me tell you, men need affirmation more than women do. Research says that a woman's top three needs is financial security, um, communication, and affection. A man's top primary needs is sex, affirmation, and trust. And so, but many men, um, you know, we walk around like we're Hulk Hogan or the Incredible Hulk or Superman, Batman, but we need that affection, and it's important that every man realizes that, every husband realizes that, and every wife understands that too. I don't care how tough your husband tries to act; he needs affection. Let me say, there is nothing more powerful, in my opinion. There is nothing more powerful human from a human perspective than a wife that speaks life and affirms her husband. Man, let me tell you something. It's it's like it's a it's like a shot of, I don't know, steroids. I'm trying to think of an analogy. Man, when you have a woman who knows how to speak life into you, when you have a woman who when you have a woman who knows how to talk to you, who knows how to touch you, who knows your love language, who knows everything you need, who knows what moves you, what stirs you up, what makes you say ooh and ah and all of that there. Oh my goodness, when you have a woman like that, a wife like that, oh my goodness.
She can get anything from you, right?
It make you get 10 jobs. The same thing is when a woman has a man who
Absolutely.
has learned her love language, and he knows and he's intentional about engaging in healthy talk and touch. Man, that's what it's about. Both of you creating an
Yeah.
atmosphere, a home, a palace where two kings, where a king and a queen reside.
Beautiful.
What it's
The
about.
unity of that, the oneness of that, just
Yes,
beautiful. Yeah.
yes. And so
Harmony, you know?
what so whatever is drifted, we're trying to get it back. We're trying to get it back home.
Oh,
Yes.
we got some work to do. I, you know, this thing with communication, and I want to reference it again for those that may not have seen it, but on YouTube, Kurt Franklin has this platform speaking to men only. And the last one was, it's called Den of Kings. But the last one ties right into the conversation we're talking about regarding pillow talk and how important communication is. But to go even back to Lonnie's question, that you see the difference for men that have the more sensitive or tap into that communication side. And what I found was it's men that's mainly raised by women versus those that have male figures in their life that just continue to transfer that pattern on to their kids. Like, you can't show your emotions. One of the guys said he did not cry for 30 years. 30 years.
Let me say this about what something you just said. You can have a man living in the house with you, but if that man does not know how to and does not engage in kingly behavior towards his queen, you can it can be just like
There's
like there's no
nothing
man in
happening.
the house at all.
Exactly.
Because
It's not a healthy
for
environment.
a period of my childhood, my father was in the house, but he didn't model into that. But what he did, my father taught me how to fight and how to work hard. Those are the two things I learned from my father. And again,
Nothing
that's what
emotional.
he learned from his father. That's all. He gave me what he knew. He showed me what he knew, and you know, I think that's kind of a pattern. So if you take that in consideration and take a deep dive, spiritual talk literally has the capacity and capability of breaking generational problems when it comes to manhood and husbandhood and wifehood. There are many women just like this. This is not just a male thing. There are men. It's not just a husband thing. There are many women just like men who have not been taught and has not been modeled how to talk to and how to behave and how to treat a man.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Because making a man feel like he's your queen, treating a man like your queen is way more than just sex.
That's right.
And you have a lot of marriages who, yeah, they know how to have sex, but let me say this here. There are some couples who've been married maybe for 6 months, 6 years, or 50 years, and they've had a whole lot of sex, but they've yet to have, let me say how I want to say this. They've yet to truly make love.
Wow. Wow.
Pillow
Some
talk.
people think it's the same thing, but
Uh,
it's not. you know? Wow.
yeah.
All right, listen.
I, I
Because
don't know.
that's a whole nother conversation. That's like part
Something to
two.
think about. Yeah, that's something to think about. Have we made love? Are we making love? Or are we just having sex?
That's true.
Are we just satisfying, each other's physical, need and desire? Are we making love?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Intimacy. When you say that, I think about intimacy, and then it goes back to those conversations to be able to really go deeper opposed to just the act of doing.
Yeah,
So,
like I said again. Again, I've been doing this a long time. I think next uh, January will make 30 years. There
wow.
are there are married couples who have sex and then go sleep in different rooms. Who satisfy each other's sexual need, but there's no deep connection. There's no. Here's the other thing too. Here's another thing that's beautiful about um, healthy communication, and I hope it's one of the results that Pillar Talk produces is that it it brings a level of love and joy and laughter into the marriage that just makes the marriage feel so amazing.
Wow.
I mean, if you, I don't, if you're not laughing together, if you're not having fun, man, I don't know.
And
Something
you
has,
know, say
something
that
is.
again.
I say, if there's no laughter and joy and fun in the marriage, something has drifted. And again, my goal as you know, the author of this journal is to whatever is drifted to get it to drift back home. Um, whatever flames have gone out is to reignite those flames.
This, yeah, this is really, I tell you, this is very special. And for those that are out there, please go pick up a copy. Amazon, go pick up Pillow Talk with Dr. V, Vernon J. Shazier. Make sure you get your copy. And I want to say this before we bring it to a close, because I definitely want you to come back next month. So,
Yeah,
what makes
I need the audience to purchase a copy and then uh, tell us some other couples to purchase a copy. I I
I'll
know.
pull the link up and put it inside the chat so people make it easy for them to just click the link. So, but I want to ask this question: what makes the 30-day Pillow Talk Journal special? I mean, we talked about a lot, so people can take from it what they take from it. But in your words,
I would say the journal is a tool for deeper connection. It's a tool for laughter. It's a tool for healing and romance. Each daily prompt strengthens emotional and physical intimacy. Again, we must think about intimacy and affection broadly. It's not just physical. It's not just mentally. Yeah, it's not just emotional. It's all of that. Um, let me say it this way, if I can use this analogy. The journal is a gym membership for your marriage. Each
mm,
day builds emotional muscles. I'm gonna say that again. If metaphorically you think about um, a gym, this Pillow Talk journal is a gym membership for your marriage. And every day that you go into that gym and engage in those questions, that conversation, that dialogue, the journaling, it builds emotional muscles. It builds and strengthens your love muscles. And so get into the journal, get into the gym. It's going to strengthen your love muscles, your marriage muscles.
absolutely. The link for Amazon into the chat so people can just click the link. I'm doing it right now over in Instagram. So people don't have to go search for it. They can just click the link and pull it up. Hold on one sec. Post. Okay, so I just put it in both places. All right. So let's do this. Action steps couples can start tonight with.
Okay. Um, let me say this as we get ready to wrap up. You don't build a great marriage through big things occasionally, but through small things consistently. Okay. A great marriage is built through doing small things consistently. And
Yes.
so when you think about action steps that couples can take with the journal, listen, put the phones down, give each other distracted attention, and ask one intentional question. There's a question there where they ask that question. End with affection. When I say end with affection, I'm talking about a kiss, I'm talking about a touch, I'm talking about a whisper, emotional. In other words, you there needs to be there needs to be some emotional housekeeping that's done in your marriage, and so we need to clean a little bit up each day.
Okay.
Okay, um, marriage doesn't thrive on perfection. Notice here, it thrives on intentionality. There are going to be some days where the questions are easier than others. There are going to be some days where when you say, did I do what I was supposed to do today? And you say, no, okay, let me get it right tomorrow. Let me get it right tomorrow. But just stay consistent, stay steady. And I promise you, um, you would do some emotional housekeeping that will help clean up your love life, your romance life, your marriage.
Wow. I'm trying to buy my copy right now.
Mhm.
Look, I'm trying to get my copy right now.
Good, good. I want you to be the first.
That's why I'm trying to get my copy right now. Who's joining me? Who is right now going in? I am literally going in to Amazon right now. Bear with me, y'all. I want to be the first to get my copy. Who gonna beat me to it? All right. Okay. So while we are doing this, any last things? I know that you're giving us some action steps to take, but and I know, thank God we have Dr. V. We're looking at roughly the third Thursday of every month, I hope, but I do want to pull up your books again. So these are the three books in your collection that are okay. I'm trying to do two things at once. But these are the three books in the collection that we have worked on well, you've worked on them. I just helped you publish to bring them to the marketplace. But Pillow Talk is available today on Amazon. So, anybody, if you are with me, I am trying to be the first one to buy my copy. And so, but Pillow Talk is available today. And right before Thanksgiving, you'll be able to go in and get the other two. So, you want to talk a little bit about From Trauma to Triumph and what they can expect in the Leader's Edge Journal?
Yeah, all three of these journals was birthed out of my pain. Again, Pillow Talk. I shared my journey of maturation as a man, as a husband, and the challenges that I went through. And the goal is to help other couples, men and women, uh, get over some of the hurdles that I had to also jump over. From trauma to triumph. Those who know my family story, my oldest son who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers was paralyzed in December 2017 in a Monday Night Football game, and it immediately thrust my family into the valley of trauma. And I've had to fight through it, walk through it, press through it. God has pulled me through it, and so what I discovered is that there are very few people who are not carrying some trauma. Some people have complex trauma, some people have chronic trauma, and they have trauma that they have not processed. This book here, this journal here, From Trauma to Triumph, will help you move through and experience some healing. The leadership edge, again, uh, that's leadership is just something I've devoted probably the last 40 years of my life engaging in. And the goal is to help every leader become an effective leader and a transformative leader. Leadership that does not transform it's something, but it's not true leadership. And so I'm excited about all three of these journals. Let's say Pillar Talk next week, From Trauma to Triumph, will be available, and the Leader's Edge Journal.
Yes. So hold on. I'm hitting right now, place my order. So hopefully I'm the first, but it doesn't matter if I'm the first or the last. Make sure you get your copy, and order has been placed. Just want you to know. Okay. So this is definitely, you have to want this, because it's easy for people to throw their hands up and say, you know what, I'm out, I'm done, I can't keep going on like this anymore, opposed to really fighting for it. And the thing is, it's hard in them streets. So if you have someone that's worth the fight, fight for it. Fight for it.
Well, on that note, I'll say this here: there's nothing great that does not require and demand great sacrifice.
Mm,
Marriage is a great and beautiful thing. It requires great sacrifice. And again, it is my prayer and hope that Pillar Talk will help some things that has drifted make its way back to the dock, that it will strengthen your marriage, it will rekindle the fire, and that you will create a home that becomes a palace where a king and a queen resides, and they laugh and enjoy life to the fullest together. That is my hope and prayer.
absolutely. And on that note, I'm going to leave it there. Now it's up to you to do your part. So, once again, we put the links in all the live platforms, so you can go right into the chats and you could just click the link to make it easy on yourself to make sure you purchase your copy. I have mine, and yes, my husband has already committed to, we're going to do pillow talk together. So, and then we got to come back and talk about some of the results, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's going to be an interesting conversation.
Hey, maybe we'll do it as on one of your Wednesdays, mixed blend Wednesdays. Maybe we have a few couples come into the conversation. And
That would be wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I would
let's
like to
plan
hear
that.
from a couple who's gone through the journal.
Absolutely. So let's look to do that in the top of 2026, because
Okay,
that gives people time over the holiday season to start having pillow talk.
okay, all
Yeah,
right.
so this has been great. And I do want to say, Leslie George says Pillow Talk is a gym membership for your marriage. Get into the gym. I love that.
Mhm.
So I just want to say this in close. During our final sip, love doesn't just happen, it's nurtured one conversation at a time. I got that from Dr. V. All right. So before couples can grow together, they must learn to slow down, listen, and see each other again, heart to heart and word to word. Communication, allow it to be consistent every day in your life. Small talk, he said, not a whole lot. It's the small little things that add up and transformation begins to take place. So, once again, for those chiming in, Pastor Gwen, thank you over on for chiming in. We have J148 who's joined in the conversation. We Amanda Neighbors, one of my best-selling authors, who chimed in also. And Leslie says, ask how many people will hold
They
on, let's
make the pledge.
yes. I love that. Why don't we start that? The Pillow Talk Pledge. Now, remember, Dr. V is with us once a month. So we're going to chime in. And the thing is, he can see the sales coming through. But in the beginning of the year, we are going to pull together couples. So let's have the Pillow Talk Pledge so we can allow marriages to be restored, because we're fighting against a lot out there. But in the home, allow it to be our palace, just like he said. So thank you, Dr. V. Thank you, Leslie, for that. We're going to start the Pillow Talk Pledge here at Morning Brew with Germaine.
Okay.
So thank you once again. I'll see you next. Look, I'll see you in December. And
Yeah.
we'll be talking about, remember, we'll be talking about the new journals coming out also, because they'll be in the marketplace. perfect stocking stuffers. Perfect stocking stuffers for the holiday season.
I don't know. We may have to keep the pillow talk pledge going. I don't know. I would
No, I
love
like that.
to love to hear from couples how the conversation is going and how it's impacting their marriage. But we'll talk and figure out what would be our topic.
Well, let me do
Okay,
this.
your time is about up.
My time is up. We are
I have
already
my,
over.
I have my
But
other job I have to go to.
listen, my time is over, but people can connect with Dr. V at info@vernonshazier.com, or just go to his website, vernonshazier.com, to be able to let him know how you're responding to Pillow Talk. Or you can just stop by, listen, Morning Brew. Leave us a message at Morning Brew, um, Morning Brew with Germaine at gmail.com, or just visit us on our website, morningbrewwithgermaine.com. All right, guys. So until next month, we'll be back. But you know what? Stop by and have coffee with me tomorrow. That's okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Have a great day and please be safe.